G'day everybody, it's lovely to see you there. Thanks for joining me. Today we've got some exciting news. I've managed to get my hands on the Nikon Z mount 35mm 1.8 S lens, and I am super keen to see how it compares with the Nikon Z 50mm 1.8 S lens. It's an exciting time for Nikon Z mount users. These lenses, I think, are very affordable considering the optical quality they provide. But what I want to find out today is this lens on par with the 50mm, which I think is one of the best lenses I've ever seen. It's crazy considering the price, considering it's not priced at a pro price, yet it is delivering pro performance. Really interesting. I took a couple of pics last night, just spent probably about 35-45 minutes taking some shots. This is just a quick look, a quick first impressions on whether I think this lens is up to par. Well, let's check it out together. Okay, so here we are. We're about to download here from the XQD, from the Z7, these fantastic, well, let's hope they're fantastic, images from the 35mm 1.8S. Let's go. So we're going to plug it into the XQD card reader. Let's go to capture one. Let's create a new catalog. So I base my naming on the year and the month. And this interface has a bit of a bug in it, which is a little bit weird. How you select stuff. Anyway, we're going to import those. We will speed this process up. There's no point watching them import. While that's coming in, we'll just have a little look at the metadata. So raw files, this is the Z7's resolution. Interesting, the rumor about the 60 megapixel one, which is almost 10,000 pixels wide. Crazy. Captured on the 20th of the 9th with the Nikon Z 35 1.8S. All right, so we are downloaded now. What's transpired here is that I have underexposed the images, having the exposure compensation dial in the wrong spot. So we're going to bring them all up by 3 stops, and this is just a starting point. We will adjust from here. Yeah, so the first thing I do is just fly through my selects and establish whether I think an image is worthy, and if I think it's kind of worthy for more looking at, I'll give it 1 star. But I have to say already, I can see this lens is very sharp. This is why shooting in these sort of environments is so good, because you get a real sense of how they are going, because there's so many lines and textures. Thanks, man. People always want to pose in your images, don't they? It's the weirdest thing. Keep moving, keep moving. I'm starting to get there. So this is, let's have a quick play with this one. So this is interesting. We'll bring up the shadows. I'm not happy with the color temperature here, so we'll cool it down a little bit. Cameras really don't cope in these environments where there is a lot of different light sources. So I often expect things not to look what I want them to look like. And of course, because there are so many different light sources, it's hard, you know, you get really in the end of the day, which is the right one? It's hard to decide. I don't like that image enough to work on it, so we will keep moving. These look interesting. Here, these wide frames. Now we've got, so this is the 35mm, and just to reiterate, and what I'm doing is I've taken 4 frames here, and I'm looking for the one that's closest to vertical. This one's brighter. What have I done? Oh, I've changed the exposure. So if you see, this was at a 50th, and this was at a 20th. So I think the last one's the one to go with. All right, so let's go with this one. ISO 64, 1/20th of a second. For some reason, I'm shooting at 2.5. Not sure why. Maybe I wanted a bit more depth of field. These are at 1.8. Okay, so I changed the adjustments around. That's fine. 2.5 is not very wide open anyway. Gives us an idea. So let's just brighten this up a little bit. And the first thing I want to look at is sharpness. So let's go into the middle. Now my focus at 100%, and that's obviously where my focus was. We've got a thin depth of field, so you can see it's pretty sharp here, pretty sharp here. getting reasonably sharp back here, and this is interesting. So this guy's just a bit further back. He's out of focus. This is all pretty good, isn't it? This is in the foreground, so it's not going to be completely tight. But look at this vertical here. This vertical here is spectacular. Very happy with that straight out of camera, as is this vertical as well, and that might be more due to rotation than a lens. But we're not seeing here any barrel distortion, so no curving. These are straight lines. These are straight lines, so that's fabulous. And I'm very happy with the sharpness I'm seeing all through here. I mean, look at all of this detail. Look at that there. That is very legible. And we're at 100%, by the way. I mean, we can go further, but it doesn't help because, of course, it's not going to look sharp if you're going beyond the pixel. So very impressive amount of detail. We'll try and find one where we've got a bit more edge going on. But yeah, I like that image, and I'm very impressed with the barrel distortion. Not quite sure what I'll do here, but just looking at the image, because we're looking at the lens, plus I'll show you a little bit of how I process. So we'll go through. Sometimes I will process as I go. Sometimes I'll just do my shortlisting first. Yeah, so I feel like maybe in there somewhere, I'd like to bring up those shadows a little bit more. And this is just hanging together very nicely. Very nicely. Yeah. That's great. There's 100%. So we have brought this up 3 stops overall exposure. I'm not sure if this is considered stops or not in this area, but it's another significant amount, and that is all still holding together very, very nicely. So go the Z7, handling that with aplomb. So I'm a fan of this one. I'm going to give it 5 stars. So what you can do here in Capture One is pressing Command Shift C. It copies your adjustments, and then you can paste those adjustments, you know, if they end up being applicable. And it's with this sort of photography where lighting is very different, it's sometimes not. But let's paste those settings. So we can see the color temperature is weird. I think we need to go a little bit cooler somewhere in there, and I feel like there's a bit too much green, so we're going to add a bit more down here, a bit more at the red end of the spectrum. And I really like that. Oh, geez, I really like this out of focus area and all these textures and shadows. That's gorgeous. Yep. So we're going to give that one a 5. Oh, and just so this is handheld at 1/10 of a second, and that is looking very sharp. Look at this sharpness through here, and we're very close to the edge, but I am very happy with what we're seeing there. Very happy. And now over to here. This is interesting. Now, which frame do I like better at it? Yeah, this is difficult. I think I like that one better. So again, we're shooting at 1/10 of a second, f1.8. So this is wide open, looking up at this beautiful old building. Besides my error in the exposure, I'm almost happy with it the way it is, and we could. Yeah, I'm not quite sure where I want to go here. Maybe that was about right. I must have been 3 stops because it was late. I was tired. Maybe I'm happy where it was. Again, this is quite wide, so it's a bit hard to tell. But I would say the focus is around this area, and again, this is looking great at 100%. Nothing over there on the edges, and all this stuff is going to be out of focus. But this is in focus, and we're on the edge, and that's looking great. Very happy, like that image a lot. And if we wanted to make it a bit crunchy, we could do that. Or this. Don't like that. So again, I'm very happy with this image straight out of camera, except for my own error. So I'm going to give that 5 stars. And just keeping in mind, I finished shooting at, let's have a look here, 10:34, and started this 10 o'clock, pretty much. So this is just 35 minutes of photography. What have we got here? Garbage truck, garbage truck. Yeah, I like that frame. I like that one better because the people I find distracting. But oh, that's tough. Yeah, for some reason I prefer this one. Now I'm going to adjust. I'm going to bring up those shadows. I think we'll bring this down a smidge. Bring the shadows. I just wanted a bit more detail through this area here. So just bring that up a bit. Color temperature, it's a bit orange, so we'll just cool it down a little, just a little. And in this case, I'm finding these areas here and here and here a bit distracting. So I'm going to darken them a little bit just to make the focus more central. Yeah, so besides this area here, I really love this image. I'd have to work out a way to fix that, which I'm not sure right now. But let's dive into the sharpness. So at 100%, look at this. This is looking fabulous. All fabulous, 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 fabulous. I'm pretty impressed. So we're right on the edge here. This is looking great. Bit hard to tell in the corners because that's out of focus. Yeah, so, and here we are down in the bottom corner again. This is in sharp focus because my focus is in here rather than up on the bumper area. It was actually these bags here, and there's nothing over here that would actually be in focus because we're shooting at 1.8. But look at that. This looks gorgeous. I love the texture that's being captured here. What can I tell you? I am pretty impressed by this. I might not have taken enough of a shot to really show the completely on the edge sharpness. Let's have a look up here and see if... Yeah, okay. So this is... The focus seems to be here on these tiles on this one. Yeah, as opposed to the plates on that other one we were looking at. So let's grab its settings. So that's Command-Shift-C. And then to paste it, it's Command-Shift-V. On a PC, it'll obviously be different. So this is sharp, and if we follow this through all the way to the edge, yeah, that's looking great. We're looking at 100%. I think that's hanging together nicely. So my first impressions are this. You can see a great number of similarities between the 50 and this, the 35, in regards to how it renders color and how it looks, how it deals with chromatic aberration. I can't see barrel distortion, and I would say sharpness, certainly in the center 80%, is on par. And then I'm just, because of the types of shots I've taken, I'm not 100% sure, but geez, it's looking close. It's looking close. Obviously a 50mm lens optically is probably one of the easiest to make, and as you get wider it gets harder to make. Personally, I'm super impressed. Yeah, like here we are, we're in the corner here, and that looks really sharp to me. That looks great. So no, I'm going to say it's very close to the 50mm, and I'd like to do more testing, but first impressions are very impressed. I'm liking this lens a lot. I'm liking it a lot. So in Capture One here, if you want to, then you can sort by rating, and then you can find the ones you've shortlisted, and in this case it's just these three, which is fine. I'm happy to go out and get 3 shots I'm happy with in 35 minutes. Maybe that's my favorite. It's hard to tell. Maybe that's my favorite. Not sure. But yeah, this is Capture One. Bit of a Capture One catch up, and the 35mm 1.8 S. I'm excited. You've seen it now. I'd love to know what you think. I'd love to know whether you're thinking of getting one. I'd love to know whether you're thinking of moving into the Z system. You may be not a Z person yet. So please let me know in the comments. What do you think? Is it a good idea? I do love this focal length. I've never owned a 35mm before. Obviously, I've had it in a zoom, 24 to 70s and so on. But this is the first time I've had a fixed 35. And yeah, I really like this look. This is a great look. So tell me what you think. As always, thank you so much for watching. If this is your first time here and you like what you see, please subscribe. I'd love to see you again. Please share, because it makes us all so much smarter. And please like, because that gets the word out there. That'd be amazing. And I'd love to hear your thoughts. All right, I will see you next time. Look after yourselves. And thank you so much for watching. And I will do a fuller, longer review and some video through the lens as well as soon as I can. Bye for now. Yeah, this is nice. This is nice. There's a lot of detail. Look, I mean, look at that. This is great. Have all this stuff in this fan here. Yeah, so good. Very nice. Very pleased.